Alright, how everybody doing? This is my first video, so I'm going to hop in and join the boys on Top 10 Tuesdays, even though it's technically Wednesday. I'm a day late, but that's okay. So I guess for this Top 10 Tuesday, the topic was Top 10 Road Horror Films of all time. So I've got my 10 here. And I guess I'll just rattle them off, talk a little bit about them, why I like them. So coming in at number 10, I've got The Battery, released by Scream Factory not too long ago, and most of you guys know this movie. It's about two, I guess, baseball players that are basically just trying to survive during a zombie apocalypse. It's really not so much about zombies, more about their survival and how they basically have to make it on the road and traveling. It's not very action-packed, but it's really good in the sense that you just get a good idea of what it's like, what it would be like to survive in a zombie apocalypse. So it was really cool. I thought at the end they spent a little bit too much time in the car. That scene at the end where, you know, they're just trapped basically in the vehicle. But aside from that, it was a really good film. I liked it a lot. So, coming in at number 9 is The Dead, the Ford Brothers film. I like this movie a lot. Another zombie film, takes place in Africa, I believe. Basically consider it a road horror film, in the sense that it's a guy traveling by himself most of the time throughout a zombie apocalypse, and just kind of how he survives and things he needs to do on the road. And you know, he definitely takes refuge, I think, in a few places, if I can remember correctly. But just a really good road horror film. I mean, a lot of these aren't really technically, maybe they wouldn't qualify to some as road horror, but to me they are, just because they're more survival films, and survival road horror kind of goes hand in hand to me. Coming in at number 7 is my favorite Resident Evil film, Resident Evil Extinction. Again, another zombie survival film. You know, cast basically travels through a remote desert after the height of a zombie apocalypse. It's basically just how they survive, you know, and travel through the desert. I love the scene where the zombies are all in that freaking, I don't know what it is. It's like an empty crate or whatever, and they bust it open, and then the zombies come piling out and attack the crew. Just the zombie effects in Resident Evil Extinction are awesome to me. I mean, I love the look of the zombies. I love the feel of the film, the desert, and I forget the chick's name. I'm just totally spacing on it, but she's hot as hell. Yeah, so Resident Evil Extinction, number 7. Number 6 is kind of controversial, I guess. Hell of the Living Dead. Basically, chemical plant unleashes a horrific virus, and a SWAT team is sent to New Guinea to investigate. And they go to this island and discover a plague of zombies, and it's basically how they survive. Hey, Pipsina, this is my cat, Pipsy. Pipsy, say hi to the camera, my love. My lovey, you'll be a good girl. Okay, you gotta move now because I'm doing a video. Anyway, Hell of the Living Dead, coming in at number 6. Good movie. Funny, kind of a cheesy zombie flick, if you want to call it road horror. Not really, but to me, you know, survival / traveling in a zombie apocalypse, close enough. What was I going to say about this one? I like the score. It's actually basically the same score as Goblin, I think. Dawn of the Dead are very similar. I think that's Dawn of the Dead's my favorite movie of all time, but I think that's what the score is. Or it's very similar. Some of the songs are the same. Alright, coming in at number 5, Wolf Creek 2. Freaking love this movie, man. The second film in the Wolf Creek series. Basically, this guy is trying to escape the psycho killer there, John Jarrett, aka Mick Taylor in the film. Basically, Mick Taylor pursues him across a hostile wasteland and eventually drags him back to his underground lair. So for the most part, the film is all about the main character evading John Jarrett. And there's a lot of road horror scenes in this. And it's just actually non-stop action, traveling, trying to escape. And there's some badass scenes. I know some people didn't like the, what do you call it, kangaroo scene. It was definitely over the top, but it was funny as hell. And I actually love the freaking intro to this movie, with the police officer, where he snipes him while they're driving and the car rolls over. It's just such a badass scene. It's a good movie, man. Definitely some good road scenes, whatever, action scenes. It's awesome. Alright, coming in at number 4, we have, or number 5, I'm sorry. Do I have 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5? Yeah, I have 10 here. So this is number 5, right here. Stakeland. Another awesome, it's a vampire flick actually, but it's very road horror. Basically, vampires, epidemic, sweeping the nation. Basically, this kid and this guy team up, and where are they trying to make it to? I forget. Well, they're basically just trying to escape the vampire apocalypse. There is a destination. It's been a while since I've seen it. I saw it when it first came out, watched it another time after, picked up the Blu-ray, but basically just showcases their journey through, you know, a world infested by vampires, and, you know, where they travel and what they come across on their journey. But awesome movie. You know, I'll just read this, let's see. Whatever. Good movie. I'm not going to waste any more time on that one. Stakeland, awesome vampire road horror film. Another vampire film coming in at number 4, John Carpenter's Vampires. Love this fucking movie. Excuse my language. Still getting used to YouTube here, so it's my first video I've ever shot, really, aside from a couple songs on guitar. But anyway, John Carpenter's Vampires, another vampire road horror film. You know, all of these are, I guess, could either be considered, you know, their specific genre films, zombie, vampire, whatever. But since they all take place in a lot of, they all incorporate a lot of travel, and basically trying to evade, you know, the enemy, be it a zombie, a vampire, whatever, a psycho. Anyway, so a crew of people are trying to kill, you know, a crew of vampires, and of course the lead vampire, and, you know, at the same time trying to escape, and they hide, they take refuge in a lot of places. But it's a pretty aggressive film. I know Moods is saying a lot of people don't like this. I've always loved this movie, always. So it took me a while. This movie was like $27, I remember, at FIE. I was trying to find it on DVD for a while, way back in the day, and I finally found it. It was like, I paid almost $30 for this thing. Now you can get it super cheap. I know, I think Twilight Time, which everybody hates, I think they're releasing this later this year, so whatever. But great movie anyway. Highly recommend it. John Carpenter's Vampires. It's got Daniel Baldwin in it. The lead vampire is Thomas Griffith. I don't really know who he is aside from this movie, but anyway, another good one. Coming in at number 3 is Death Proof. I know this is on Moods' list. Definitely one of my favorites. Fucking the epitome of road horror right here. All-star cast, my favorite director of all time, Quentin Tarantino. It doesn't get any more road horror than this, folks. So, you know, you got a psycho who basically kidnaps women, put them in his deathmobile, and takes them for a ride, and murders them in his car, in his death-proof vehicle. Awesome movie. I like this movie, if not more than Planet Terror. I know they're both awesome, but, you know, Tarantino's Death Proof rocks. Action-packed, highly recommend. Number 3. Number 2. One of my favorite zombie movies of all time, probably in my top 5 for sure. 28 Days Later. you know, road horror in the sense that, again, you know, a pack of survivors are trying to survive a zombie apocalypse. You know, there's some great road shot scenery where they're traveling through the countryside, they're traveling through the city, just a lot of traveling. So that's why I put it in the road horror category. Awesome movie. You guys have seen it. You all know it. Danny Boyle, excuse me. Classic. Not as, I mean, what am I saying? The second one, not as good. I like the intro scene in the second one, in the cottage there, and then they escape. But I don't like the whole, what happens afterwards. That one father, like, I'm not talking about the second one here. It didn't even make the list. But anyway, 28 Days Later. Awesome. Maybe we'll get a 28 months soon. And my number one pick is The Hitcher. I know this was on a couple guys' lists too. How could it not be? It's the best road movie of all time. Or road horror movie of all time, should I say. You know, C. Thomas Howell, Rutger Hauer, awesome cast, awesome movie. You guys know the plot. One of my favorite hitchhiking movies of all time. Non-stop action, great car scenes. Just a creepy-ass movie. What is it? Rutger Hauer's the man. He's plays an amazing villain. You like coming over here, don't you, love? Yes, you do. Anyway, coming in at number one, The Hitcher, folks. It's been talked about to death. Everybody put it on their list, so I need to say no more. All right. Recap real quick, I guess. Number one, The Hitcher. Number two, 28 Days Later. Number three, Death Proof. Number four, John Carpenter's Vampires. Number five, Stakeland. Number six, Wolf Creek 2. Number seven, Hell of the Living Dead. Number 8, Resident Evil Extinction. I might have said Apocalypse earlier. I meant Extinction, and clearly you can read it. So, anyway. Number 9, The Dead. And number 10, The Battery. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching my first video. My name's Turi, and I was going to say something else, but I forget what I was going to say now. So, thanks a lot. Alright, have a good night. I hope I didn't butcher this. Thanks. Peace.